from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Good evening and welcome to King's News Run, 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and I'm Newton representing stories to follow in this evening. The Chief of Office, staff in the office of former President George Weah, using language dismisses claims suggesting that the ex-Liberian leader is scheduled to meet with former U.S. President and current Donald Trump says the media report is false and misleading. Independent Elections Committee of the Reporters Association of Liberia announces Saturday, November 8th, 2025 as the official date for the conduct of the Association General Elections. IEC Chairperson Frank Martin cautions aspirants to adhere to the association constitutional requirements or risk disqualification. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency through the Liberia National Police launches a manhunt for suspended LDA Grand Bassa County Commander Alfred Lackett following allegations linking him to the transfer of US 10,000 from the mobile phone of a suspected drug dealer. Away from Liberia, fighters from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have executed a number of unarmed people after capturing the Sudanese city of El Fasher, according to the BBC. These plus the news bulletins, our international developments are all packaged. We are taking a very short break. To be right back. At this juncture, we cross over to Sam Andrews with the news bulletin.
The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, through the Liberia National Police, has launched a manhunt for suspended LDAA Grand Bassa County Commander Alfred Lackey. The action follows allegations linking Commander Lackey to unlawful transfer of over US 10,000 from the mobile phone of a suspected drug dealer. In a statement issued Wednesday, LDEA said the alleged conduct of the officer constitutes a serious violation of the agency ethical standard and operational protocols. The agency cautioned the public against conducting any business with the suspected commander in the name of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. The agency at the same time appealed to the public to assist law enforcement authorities with any information that could lead to Commander Lackey's arrest, emphasizing its commitment to accountability and integrity within the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. The Independent Elections Commission of the Reporters Association of Liberia has announced November 8th as the official date for the conduct of the Association General Elections. The election, initially scheduled for October 25th, was reportedly postponed due to slow pace of aspirant registration, among other issues. Speaking on King's FM Wednesday, the committee's chairman, Frank Martin, stated that the decision to extend the election date aims to give all aspirants sufficient time to fulfill the constitutional requirements of the Reporter Association of Liberia before contesting any position. According to Martin, all the shortlisted aspirants, including Barclay Conley, Webster Clay, and Blamoto, among others, are yet to complete the required payments, which he emphasized are mandatory prerequisites for participation in the election. He cautioned that any aspirant who fails to meet the association constitutional requirements will be disqualified from the electoral process. Chairman Martin also urged all reporters intending to participate in the upcoming elections to present a valid identification card from a recognized media institution to the Congress Committee Office beginning October 30th. He clarified that the regularization exercise is entirely free of charge, with no fees attached, and reaffirmed that only reporters who meet the minimum practice requirements as stipulated in the Reporters Association of Liberia Constitution will be eligible for regularization and participation in the elections. Former Bomi County Senator Sandal Johnson has expressed deep frustration and disappointment in the Unity Party-led government, accusing it of abandoning him and his supporters despite their strong backing during the 2023 general and presidential elections that brought President Joseph Boakai to power. Sandal Johnson said he and his supporters made significant sacrifices to ensure Unity Party victory, but have since been neglected by the government. The former senator lamented the challenges faced by his loyal supporters, many of whom, he said, are struggling to survive after dedicating their time and resources to the ruling Unity Party. Sandal Johnson also issued a strong warning that he would not support Unity Party in the next general and presidential elections if the situation remains unchanged. The former senator comments come amid growing concerns among some Unity Party allies who believe they have been sidelined since the party assumed office earlier this year. The office of the chief of staff in the office of former Liberian President George Weah, Len Eugene Nangwe, has refused claims and reports by several media institutions, including Spoon Network. In their speculative reports, the media outlets, including Spoon Network, suggested that ex-Liberian President George Weah is scheduled to meet with the President of the United States, Donald Trump. In a statement released Wednesday, Len Eugene Nangwe described the report as inaccurate and speculative, emphasizing that no such meeting has been arranged, either personally or in connection with the former president's ongoing engagement with FIFA. Mr. Nangwe accused media outlets of engaging in what he called political pitching expedition, suggesting that the report was intended to generate public speculation rather than convey verified information. The chief of staff in the office of the former president clarification comes in response to widespread discussions on social media following Spoon Network claim that former President George Weah, who currently serves on FIFA committee, was among a group of international football dignitaries expected to meet with President Donald Trump ahead of preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Len Eugene Nangwe further noted that former President George Weah, a 1995 FIFA Ballon d'Or winner and global football icon, continues to play active roles in international sports diplomacy. He added that former President George Weah has maintained close ties with FIFA and other global football institutions since leaving office in January 2024. The commissioner of Salala District, Bon County, has stressed the need for reconciliation across Liberia, noting that reconciliation is the pathway for inclusive government development. Kenya emphasized that following the 2023 general and presidential elections, the district has embarked on reconciliation with opposition political parties, including the Congress for Democratic Change for Holistic Developmental Agenda. The Bon County Commissioner said it is important that their letters of appointment foster reconciliation among their citizens, which reflects good governance and unity. Addressing the issue of challenges since his ascendancy as district commissioner, Kamukonen highlighted the issue of mobility as a major challenge under his leadership, something he said has caused serious hindrance in reaching out to others as a means of lobbying for the district. Monserrado County District Representative Jerry Yogba has reaffirmed his unwavering commitment to fostering unity among residents and advancing development initiatives within his district. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of a new district headquarters in District 12, Representative Yogba described the project as a significant milestone in his administration efforts to strengthen community cohesion and improve public service delivery. He emphasized that the headquarters would not only serve as administrative center, but also a symbol of togetherness, bringing citizens closer to their leaders and promoting effective governance. According to him, development can only thrive when residents are united in purpose and vision. Also speaking at the occasion, Bond County 3 Representative Marvin Cole pledged his support towards the initiative. He announced a contribution of 1,000 United States dollars to assist in the construction of the headquarters. According to Representative Marvin Cole, his contribution demonstrates the importance of mutual support amongst lawmakers, particularly in efforts that promote development and local empowerment. The newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Liberia to the Arab Republic of Egypt, Heron Family, has officially presented his letters of credence to the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The ceremony took place at the Itahadiyah Presidential Palace in Heliopolis district of Cairo. Ambassador Family conveyed warm greetings and best wishes from President Joseph Boakai and reaffirmed his commitment to deepening the long-standing ties of friendship and cooperation between Liberia and Egypt, which dates back to 1957. The Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Jerry Limikpia, is leading a three-member delegation to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to participate in a UAE Africa Tourism Investment Summit, a major three-day event bringing together 53 African countries along with 250 investors and policymakers. During the summit's special high-level ministerial roundtable, a US $6 billion UAE investment mapping initiative was unveiled, outlining new tourism-related projects expected to generate 70,000 jobs across Africa. At the summit, Liberia presented a comprehensive five-plan tourism investment package, included in the UAE Africa investment mapping. The package focuses on tourism, and heritage restoration, digital transformation, capacity building in tourism and hospitality, marketing and branding, sustainability, and transport to boost tourism. The UAE initiative aims to attract global investors and strengthen public-private partnership for sustainable development. In a joint statement, African tourism ministers commended the UAE for its partnership and successful experience in using tourism to drive investment, diversify economies, and promote sustainable growth across the continent. And the Liberian government and the World Bank have reaffirmed their commitment to driving inclusive and sustainable economic growth with a strong focus on job creation, private sector engagement, and resilience building. Speaking at the 6th edition of the Liberia Economic Update held at Belakasa in Monrovia under the theme From Stabilization to Inclusion, Pathways to Resilient Growth and Productive Jobs, Deputy Minister for Economic Management at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Defo Zuo, praised the World Bank for its continued partnership and vital support to Liberia's economic transformation agenda. Minister Zuo described the event as an important platform for reflection and forward planning. He emphasized why Liberia has made significant progress in stabilizing its economy. The next phase must focus on inclusive growth that ensures every Liberian, particularly youth and women, benefit from the country's economic progress. He highlighted that findings and recommendations of the Liberia Economic Upgrade will be integrated into the national planning processes, including the preparation of the National Development Plan and the National Budget for 2026, which are being guided by the principles of inclusiveness, accountability, and sustainability.
Sam Andrews with the news bulletin. What if you just joined us? A reminder, you're listening to King's News World, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and I'm Newton Tokpa presenting. Stories will follow in this evening. The Chief of Office Staff in the Office of former Liberian President George Weah, Eugene Nangwe, dismissed a claim suggesting that the ex-Liberian leader is scheduled to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump, says the media report is false and misleading. Independent Elections Committee of the Reporters Association of Liberia announces Saturday, November 8th, 2025, as the official date for the conduct of the association's general elections. IEC Chairperson Frank Martin cautions aspirants to adhere to the association's constitutional requirements or risk disqualification. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, through the Liberia National Police, launches a manhunt for suspended LDA Grand Bassa County Commander Alfred Lackett following allegations linking him to the transfer of over US 10,000 from the mobile phone of a suspected drug dealer. And away from Liberia, factors from the paramilitary support forces have executed a number of unarmed people after capturing the Sudanese city of El Fasher, according to the BBC. We are taking another short break. We will be right back with voices of the newsmakers. On our first development here this evening, of the Reporters Association of Liberia has announced on November 8th, 2025 as the official date for the conduct of the association's general elections. The election, initially scheduled for October 25th, 2025, was reportedly postponed due to the slow pace of aspirants' registration and other issues. Speaking to King's FM Wednesday, the committee's chairperson, Frank Martin, stated that the decision to extend the election date aims to give all aspirants sufficient time to fulfill the constitutional requirements of the RAL before contesting for any position.
The Constitution provides that the current leadership spent 3 years in power, so we open vacancies for all positions in the association, ranging from the presidency, the vice presidency, the secretary general, the assistant secretary general, and the financial secretary per the constitution. So we release a statement, if my mind can recollect me better, on September 2, 2025, release positions that are vacant and given a timetable. But we noticed that some of our colleagues was not complying for the timetables given, so we decided to add additional 10 days. So the elections, by right, should have been conducted the 25th of October 2025, but based on delayed and other, thing, the political maneuvering of the association, so we have decided that the elections be conducted on the 8th November 2025. So I can speak to you and even your listening audience and all journalists across the country who have been concerned about when the elections will be conducted. November 8th will be the official date election. Some part of last week, we released a statement and mandating all reporters across the country to pay their due, and even contestants in these elections to also pay their due. They are being contesting parties, appearing that at this point in, like I said, they are being contesting parties on grievances, on issues about due payment. Parties are, contesting that they are unable to pay the due because of the time frame. So we are being in conversations with the press unions of Liberia period leadership to see how best that we can make everything possible for all parties to be satisfied in this process. So we were able to compromise portions of the Constitution and talk about due payment. So to allow all reporters to form part of the voting process. The first requirement now is that no one is paying due. Let me make this clear to you. All right. No reporter is paying due. Now, as a reporter, you are only required now to take your voting card. In fact, your institution card. Okay. Instead Stephen Compton work for Kings FM, and then you want to vote in the election. Okay. So what you need to do now is to regularize your status with the association. You have to take your voting card to the PEL headquarters, okay, where the chairman of the Congress Committee, Benjamin Quay Johnson, is seated to do all the tallying of our reporter.
He's the Independent Elections Committee of the Reporters Association of Liberia, here, or committee chairman Frank Martin there speaking. Former Bomi County Senator Sandra Johnson has expressed deep frustration and disappointment in the Unity Party-led government, accusing it of abandoning him and his supporters despite their strong backing during the 2023 general and presidential elections that brought President Joseph Boakai to power. Johnson said he and his supporters made significant sacrifices to ensure the Unity Party's victory, but have since been neglected by the administration. The former senator lamented the challenges faced by his loyal supporters, many of whom he said are struggling to survive after dedicating their time and resources to the Unity Party's campaign.
Support Unity Party that if I want to work for this government, if I want to provide or I want to do a contract for the government, you must deprive me. No, I suffered. I went through hell. I went to the people. I was in Bomi, Senator Tyler and I. For 3 months in the bushes. See, this is spent millions of dollars. We didn't have money to spend. We want to convince our people to vote for President Boakai. He alone will not do it. So if you don't protect my interest, you know, so I should only wait. Oh, now when election time coming now, then you call me? Hell no! I'm not a child. I got supporters. They have to survive. You don't want to help them. But I should be saying that I'm for my leg. I said the Josie Rescue Mission standing 2020 now. I said I will not support Unity Party in 2029. Let me repeat. I will not repeat it. I will not support Unity Party in 2029. Sando Dazo Johnson making the statement. I've said it. Those that have ears have heard it. I'm sure the president have heard it. I'm sure his vice president have heard it. I did it only for President Boakai. Only. And I will not go beyond that. Nobody else behind them that I will support. Help me.
But will you support someone in 2029?
I just told you that the same.
Will you support someone?
Definitely. If I conclude with CMC, I will support them. Period.
He's former Bomi County Senator Sandra Johnson, yes, speaking. Monserrate County District 2 Representative Jared Yokbo has reaffirmed his unwavering commitment to fostering unity among residents and advancing developmental initiatives within his district. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a new district headquarters in District Number 12, Representative Yokbo described the project as a significant milestone in his administration effort to strengthen community cohesion and improve public service delivery. He emphasized that the headquarters would not only serve as an administrative center, but also as a symbol of togetherness, bringing citizens closer to their leaders and promoting effective governance.
Away on the side of division, let us embrace unity and work together for the common good. Let this project inspire every community in District 12, from JJY to Swaga Island, from Kesari Boulevard to Kadoma. That togetherness, we can achieve the greatest. As your representative, I reaffirm my unwavering commitment to this development, to transparency, and to people first leadership. This is not just my duty, it is my solemn promise to the people of this state.
He's Monserrate County District Number 12 Representative Jerry Yokbo, they're speaking. The government of Liberia and the World Bank have reaffirmed their commitment to driving inclusive and sustainable economic growth with a strong focus on job creation, private sector engagement, and resilience building. Speaking at the 6th edition of the Liberal Economic Update held at the Beta Casa Hotel in Monrovia under the theme From Stabilization to Inclusion, Pathways to Resilient Growth and Productive Jobs, Deputy Minister for Economic Management at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Dofu Zuo, praised the World Bank for its continued partnership and vital support to Liberia's economic transformation agenda. Minister Zuo described the event as an important platform for reflection and forward planning. It emphasized that while Liberia has made significant progress in stabilizing its economy, the next phase must focus on inclusive growth and ensures every Liberian, particularly youth and women, benefit from the nation's economic progress. He highlighted that fundings and recommendations of the Liberia Economic Update will be integrated into national planning processes, including the preparation of the National Development Plan and National Budget for 2026, which had been guided by the principles of inclusiveness, accountability, and sustainability.
I want to say thanks to the World Bank, which is our major partner and major contributor to our development program in Liberia. To be specific, World Bank is also co-chairing the Economic Transformation Bill of the EARD, and I'm so pleased that at this moment we are looking at an instrument that actually represents the performance of our economy, looking at the view from the World Bank. On behalf of the Minister of Finance, Honorable Gossip Gafon, we want to extend our thanks and appreciation to the team at the World Bank, the technical team that produced this report, which is very much informative and more data-driven. It's also looking at us more like in the clinical section as the manager of the economy. We want to appreciate you, particularly Wadi and Gwen. I know whenever we talk about the technical numbers in Liberia, we sing about the World Bank and the IMF. I know our other partners are there, but what comes from these two institutions also represents the rest of the world. Looking at the snapshot of your report, we want to say that as a country and the manager of the economy, with the keynotes, looking at some successes and challenges as we're looking at. One thing we want to say clearly, which will be coming out during our panel discussion, is that we are doing everything within our efforts as a country to sustain the growth. We are also pleased to look at the title of the report, which is very much key, from stabilization to inclusion, articulating the vision from the president to say a rest agenda for inclusive development. To make our growth more inclusive, it means that all of the sector have to be involved, and with citizen participation, that is very much key. As I look at the report, I'm glad that our growth number remains strong. At the same time, it's important to know that one of the major challenges that the country faces have been the issue of economic governance and political governance, which your report have outlined clearly that there's a rich job growth opportunity for us as a country, which we will take it into consideration as we plan for our fiscal year 2026. I'm also glad to know that our poverty rate is kind of moderate, meaning that much needs to be done. On the south side of this report, I want to say on behalf of the Minister of Finance and Development Planning to urge and encourage our Liberian private sector. I don't want to be specific, but to encourage you to say we need you as partners.
The Deputy Minister for Economic Management at the Minister of Finance for the call for increased participation of the private sector through public-private partnerships, and thus emphasizing that such collaboration will help stimulate innovation, investment, and job creation. The Deputy Minister also reaffirmed the government's commitment to sound economic management and to ensuring that macroeconomic gains all translated into tangible improvements in the lives of Liberians through poverty reduction, employment generation, and human capital development. But meanwhile, Mrs. Georgia Wallen, the World Bank representative to Liberia, commended the government of Liberia for maintaining macroeconomic stability and for prioritizing inclusive development policies. She noted that the Liberia Economic Update provides crucial insights into recent economic trends and outlines actionable recommendations to strengthen resilience and accelerate job creation.
Environment and strengthening public-private coordination. And finally, expanding labor participation through skills with focus on youth and gender-focused interventions that also engage Liberia's women. These measures can change the game and help position Liberia for more productive, job-rich growth and improved resilience to future shocks. A multi-stakeholder collective approach will also be key for achieving these objectives. Over the next 5 years, World Bank Group partnership with Liberia will focus intensively on building foundations for more and better jobs, and we look forward to launching the new CPI partnership framework next month. We hope the Liberia Economic Update can help to inform our collective efforts to tackle Liberia's job challenge and unlock opportunities for future generations and future progress. It will take all of us working together. So we're so grateful that you have taken your time to join us today here in the room and also.
She's George Wallen, the World Bank representative to Liberia. Yes, speaking. What if you just joining us? The time half past the hour. A reminder: you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories will follow in this evening. Chief of Office Staff in the Office of former Liberian President George Weah, Eugene Langwe dismisses claims suggesting that the ex-Liberian leader is scheduled to meet with former U.S. President Donald Trump, says the media report is false and misleading. Independent Elections Committee of the Reporters Association of Liberia announces Saturday, November 8, 2025 as the official date for the conduct of the association's general elections. IEC Chairperson Frank Martin cautions aspirants to adhere to the association's constitutional requirements or risk disqualification. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, through the Liberia National Police, launches a manhunt for suspended LDA Grand Bassa County Commander Alfred Lackett following allegations linking him to the transfer of over US 10,000 from the mobile phone of the suspected drug dealer. And away from Liberia, fighters from the paramilitary support forces have executed a number of unarmed people after capturing the Sudanese city of El Fasher, according to the BBC. We are taking another short break to continue with more voices on the program. Thanks for rejoining and welcome back. Still on the development, Moshovala County District 2 of Representative Jerry Yokbo has reaffirmed his unwavering commitment to fostering unity among residents and advancing developmental initiatives within his district. Also speaking at the occasion, Bone County District 3 Representative Marvin Cole pledged his support toward the initiative. He announced a contribution of US $1,000 to assist in the construction of the headquarters. According to Cole, his contribution demonstrates the importance of mutual support among lawmakers, particularly in efforts that promote developmental and local empowerment.
I want you to listen. I don't know if can we do groundbreaking yet? You have got permission for public work to decide to do groundbreaking. Public work are approve you. Hello. We want to do groundbreaking. The person they gotta approve it. What part of the law that say, "Oh, go do groundbreaking, you will approve it"? Now you know, we want to be grateful to the political leader. The man has spoken, and we honor him. So on Saturday morning, I will get $1,000 US as a personal contribution. This coming Saturday. So the coming Saturday, I will make 1,000 US dollar available for retiring doctor as a personal contribution. Thank you. God bless you.
He's Bond County District 2 Representative Marvin Coder speaking. The Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Yakwaulo, had described Liberia's mangrove ecosystem as a cornerstone for national heritage and community livelihoods. Speaking during the official launch of the Liberian National Mangrove Inventory Report held in Monrovia, Dr. Yakwaulo said the report is a landmark and first of its kind to provide a comprehensive scientific assessment of the country mangrove forest, detailing the condition, biodiversity, and carbon storage potential. According to him, the Liberian National Mangrove Inventory Report is expected to guide future policy decisions on coastal protection, blue carbon research, and sustainable economic development. Dr. Yakwaulo explained that the initiative results from more than a year of collaborative work between the EPA International Mangrove Task Force, a coalition of government institutions, research organizations, and local communities, adding that the task force has been instrumental in mapping mangrove boundaries, documenting species diversity, and engaging residents in restoration and conservation efforts.
As national heritage central to climate resilient community livelihoods and biodiversity. To implement this directive, the EPA established the National Wetland Task Force, bringing together key agencies and institutions to coordinate research, policy harmonization, and law enforcement for the protection of wetlands nationwide. Over the past year, the EPA and the task force have worked tirelessly to map wetland boundaries, identify threat hotspots, and engage local communities in restoration activities. The National Mangrove Inventory we are gathered here will support these efforts. It provides for the first time real-time data showing potential of our mangrove forest, laying a solid scientific foundation for the economy, for the blue economy, planning and investment. We also celebrate our new elemental analyzer, a state-of-the-art instrument donated by the International Atomic Agency to Liberia. When installed in commission, this equipment will enable the EPA to analyze blue carbon content in soils, sediments, and organic matter with precision. It will be instrumental for the blue carbon research, mangrove data validation, and the development of our national carbon market readiness system. The result of this inventory go beyond environmental science and they speak to economic transformation. Like our blue economic vision seek to harness our ocean, coast, and rivers for sustainable growth, fisheries, tourism, and renewable energy.
He's the Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Yakwaulo, there speaking. And away from Liberia, factors from the paramilitary rapid support forces have executed a number of unarmed people after capturing the Sudanese city of El Fasher. New video analyzed by the BBC Verify show the RSF, which has been engaged in a brutal war with the Sudanese armed forces for more than 2 years, seized a key military base in the city over the weekend after an extended siege. Several videos have since emerged showing men wearing military uniforms and some with what appears to be RSF patches carrying out extreme acts of violence around El Fasher. The UN Sudan coordinator said he had received credible reports of summary executions in the city during an interview with the BBC on Wednesday. BBC Verify has approached the RSF for comment. Aram Abdullah, an advisor to the paramilitary, denied the group's fighters were targeting civilians in an interview with the BBC on Monday, Sudan has been ravaged by war since the conflict broke out in 2023, prompted by the collapse of the SAF and the RSF's fragile ruling coalition. Meanwhile, more than 150,000 people have died across the country and about 12 million have fled their homes since then. On that notice, I would like to go home this evening on this edition of the program King's Newsroom, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this evening, let's remind you of stories we've been following. The Chief of Office Staff in the Office of former Liberian President George Weah, Eugene Nangwe, dismisses claims suggesting that the ex-Liberian leader is scheduled to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump, says the media report is false and misleading. Independent Elections Committee of the Reporters Association of Liberia announces Saturday, November 8, 2025, as the official date for the conduct of the association's general elections. IEC Chairperson Frank Martin cautions aspirants to adhere to the association's constitutional requirements or risk disqualification. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, through the Liberia National Police, launches a manhunt for suspended LDA Grand Bassa County Commander Alfred Lackett following allegations linking him to the transfer of over US 10,000 from the mobile phone of a suspected drug dealer. Away from Liberia, fighters from the paramilitary support forces have executed a number of unarmed people after capturing the Sudanese city of El Fasher, according to the BBC. These are stories to follow here this evening of King's Newsroom. Sam Andrews was here with the news bulletin, while Marvin Vaz sat the controls and coordinated the sound. I would like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped in making this package. Our sources. My name is Newton Tupa. Thanks for listening and watching. Good evening.